Hello, this is Mark1k1 from VesarKnights.com, doing the latest PSP review. This time, obviously, it's a video review, because I thought reading the reviews was kind of boring, in a way, so I decided to do video reviews now. Anyway, for the first video review I'm going to do, it's going to be of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which recently was released in Europe and America. Now, out of all the PSP games I've played, there really aren't many that can compare to it, because it's very good. Even the other Metal Gear Solid games on the PSP aren't really as good as this, because this one kind of gives a feel similar to the PS1 game, which I've never actually played, but I've seen it been played all the way through. And also, I'm not much of a Metal Gear Solid fan, so I'm honestly not brown-nosing the game just because it has Metal Gear Solid on it. But completely honest with this, Hideo Kojima seems to be fantastic with making games, and I just love the way that the game doesn't take itself too seriously. There are serious points in the game, however, there will be very jokey points in the game as well, and it will take the piss out of itself as well. Anyway, let's move on to the categories. Okay, well, the first category is gameplay, and personally I gave this a 9 out of 10. Reasons being that it's generally fun to play. Near the start of the game, some of the missions are maybe a bit repetitive, due to the fact they don't change too much, but later on you start doing more things. For instance, like, I don't want to spoil it, but you fight a tank and other things, various things, and they added a lot of fun things into the gameplay. For instance, making teams with soldiers you collect. And what you can do with that is you can make a unit, and it goes. There's a lot of units, let's just say, and you can send them out to different conflicts in the world, and they'll rank up from it. They'll become better soldiers. When you finish the game, you can begin to use them in extra missions, and there are a lot of extra missions, trust me. So yeah, I thought the gameplay really deserved at least a 9, possibly a 10, I don't know. Okay, the graphics. Right. Well, the graphics are superb for the PSP, really. There's very few things wrong with them. They're normally very nice. I mean, this is getting up to scratch with PS2 graphics, really. So overall, the graphics, yeah, they're very good. I didn't want to give it a 10 out of 10, in fact, because I don't know. I think it would take just a little bit more to get a 10 out of 10, but definitely 9 out of 10. For the music in the game, I really felt like they knew what they were doing with it. They really knew what to add and when, and it was really good. It's like possibly some of the best music I've heard in a PSP game. Close to Crisis Core, because I'm a very big fan of the game of Crisis Core and the music of it. But I think this is slightly better. They just used it so appropriately, and I really don't want to give anything away, but the last kind of well, you just have to play it, but the music near the end of the game is just fantastic. It's really works well, so I had to give it a 10 out of 10. And now on to the controls, and this is a fact that normally ruins most PSP games. Big problem with third-person shooters and first-person shooters is that aiming can be just annoying, and because it can be very inaccurate as well. Now, it does suffer a little bit from that when you go into a first-person view to shoot weapons. However, it's not that bad. It's actually better than a lot of other games I've played on the PSP. For instance, Resistance Retribution has a big problem with, well, the same problem essentially. It's not very accurate sometimes. However, they have the auto aim on that, and they have a slight auto aim on here as well. And it's all right. The auto aim, it kind of goes on when it feels like it, really. At least in my experience of using it. So for the controls, they're not too bad. I personally didn't mind them, so I gave it an 8.5. And finally, for the overall rating, and I think it deserves this rating because it is overall a very good game. It's very enjoyable. I spent at least 20 hours on it, as it says in my save game. Remembering I've gone slowly, so it may take less amount of time to actually finish the game, but still, you can put a lot of hours into it even after you finish the story. So yeah, the overall rating is a 9 out of 10. So I hope you enjoyed the review. I'll be making another one shortly, possibly of either, well, any new games really. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Remember to rate and subscribe.